Well, I'm back again. Beelzebub. It was, I'm a respectful guy. He didn't want to be on the live chat, and it would have been interesting because you would have seen a manifestation of the Beelzebub, and go look that word up, what that means, right? And he wanted to tell me how the Third Reich is reascending itself as the only correct political structure for the world. And then I said, "Oh, really? So did you know where that came from?" And I just, in less than 3 minutes, gave him the whole Teutonic, that. Did you know that the what the word Nazi stands for? And he didn't even know that. Nationalist Workers' Socialist Party, right? In German. And did you know where that came from? He had no idea where it came from. It came from the Thule Society and the Vol Society. Do you know who they were? And he had no idea. And those folks were a reincarnation of an Egyptian death cult. And the Thule were, the Thules and the Vol, the oh, the priestesses were these white Aryan girls with hair down to their ankles, and the hair were these antennae that they talked through time and space, and they did, because a good deal of what the high level of occult knowledge that came through the esoteria into the Waffen SS came from those girls. And the people who funded it were Prescott Bush, Averell Harriman, J.P. Morgan, Henry Ford, Rockefeller, a number of other banking trust folk, and English, and the major, the Rothschilds, and the major arms of the city of London. And they were ready because, what makes money is war. And, the people who were talking to me, "Oh, you'll have to lead us into fighting this evil." No, I don't. What I have to do is help the adepts learn to ascend their spirit, to love all our relations, to co-create love's love, and heal all that is. And when that occurs, and it can occur in an instant, the world will change. Heaven on earth will occur. All that is needed to know will be known. Anyway, so, again, as I talk in a way that brings understanding, every kind of interruption occurs. And, like I said, all I got to do is tell them a really bad elephant joke. How many Beelzebubs does it take to screw in a light bulb? Anyway, so I'll hang out here. It's 4 minutes. We had a nice little crew going on there for a moment. Almost 30 people. And they came and they went, and we dropped below 10. And then, I kind of went to Flashdance Beelzebub away, because he wouldn't have gone. He went away, and he was like, in flies, circle Mierda. Have you ever eliminated in a slit trench? That's where Beelzebub hangs out. And he would have just hung out over by that slit trench and tried to interfere. So I kind of I wanted to show you how to do it, But he, you know, if I had just put the camera, in a way that surreptitiously, it would have been not appropriate because truth always has to be met with truth. Love always has to be met with love. You know, they do it. They put the TV shows on, show us exactly what's happening, what's going to go on. And we accept it. We don't have to accept it. We can rise our consciousness through meditation. Breathing that 20% in. And then, and how did Buddha stay awake? Well, he was frigging meditating all the frigging time. He was he wasn't letting his autonomic system breathe for him. He was consciously breathing all the time. My sensei, breathing that way all the time. Madame Olga Kluver, all the time. The old crone, all the time. So, how many of you were able to go through the second door and go into fairyland? There were about 15 of you there when I was showing you how to, be introduced to the old crone yourself. I'll keep doing that. I'll keep trying. Forget a photograph. The photographs I've shown you were alchemically charged in a way that oh, I love these interruptions. But you guys can yourself do all of this. I, your sensei, is your teacher to assist you, to bring you forth to your higher abilities. I'm not giving them to you. It's like a hand up, not a hand out. I can't give you anything. I can assist. We can have loads of fun. We can be fellows and take the path less traveled together and have a lot of fun. I showed you a lot of pictures of having a lot of fun, And that's what life's about. It's not a drudge. It's not a misery. At the IHOP, all the people who I read, not a single one had that glimmer of having a good time. Not even the little kids. They were already beaten down. They were already stepped on, And when I kind of just opened, shone the light in there, it was like they were like blinking, and I probably worked on 20 different people, and about 8 of them individually, and about 3 of them responded like, "Wow, yeah, this is cool. I thought something like this was around. Yeah, wow." And 2 of them were like, were in their 70s and had been, shackled by, Christianity, Protestant, Methodist, whatever flavor they were shackled by. And all I did was, show them how to breathe. And it was like they popped out. They had been together for 52 years. They had met each other when they were in high school. And they got married, by the time they were 19. And even though their bodies were like as big as cows, obese, and they both had open heart surgery, so they've been tinkered with. They popped out the other side as teenagers, and they were like, "Wow!" And the other woman, who was like she had a miserable life. She saw that she wanted to commit suicide, and she saw that she didn't have to. That she didn't have to do anything that she felt that she was incarcerated into having to do. So out of the 23 popped out on the other side into a life that they can live for as long as they can serve love's co-creation. That's what it's about, serving love's co-creation. So So did anybody get through the second door? Door number two. Put my little earbud in. Boop, boop, boo. Anybody there? So the crew is bailing. There were almost four of you there. Now there's two. Go out and get some more people. I'll stick around. It's only been 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Anyway, so we're at a very interesting time. I started this little series of 40 days and 40 nights because I started to observe, because I was out there in the deep green where there are no lights, so I could see the stars like you really can't see anywhere else. I didn't even need a telescope. I have a nice little, rocks on the ground. That's my observatory. And things were lining up in a way that I hadn't seen them ever line up. And then I started to dig a little deeper. And, because there's two big colleges with two pretty big, amazing libraries with a staff of some pretty amazing students and teachers. I won't call them teachers, I'll call them scholastics. And I went and visited all of them with that question, what do you think's going on? And really, only 4 out of 600 who I talked to over the summer actually kind of realized what I was talking about. And actually, sat down and breathed that 20%, in their office or in a seat in the library like I am here, Beelzebub sure didn't want to do that. Beelzebub didn't even want to know where he came from. That was the most amazing thing. I was telling Beelzebub where his creation story came from. That shot him out of here like a rocket ship, like a slingshot. He took off. It would have been fun to have just, but that would have been wrong. I'm not going to put anyone on the scale unless they want to be measured. Anyway, so it's now 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Come on. Where's the rest of you guys? It's now probably around 1 o'clock. So I'm going to stick around till 15 minutes. And then I'm going to see, I'll sign off again, and I'll see if everything has loaded up on the channel correctly. And I will come back, let's say, between 2 and 2:30. And I have a few things I want to look at, a few things I want to bring to the chat, be a little more, prepared, right? Because, as your sensei, I should have a little, thank you, Mr. Tucker. That's what I'm looking for. The Super Flower Child computer. Yep. And we have to think of a new neural net that everything in all of love's creation can connect to. Doesn't matter whether it's a bag of water or any other member of all our relations. Our new neural net, our new www, all our relations, internet, right? I love you. Keep up the good work. Any ideas what you want me to think about for our next live chat in an hour or so? It's probably about 1 o'clock now or thereabouts. And there are a few things I wanted to get together, but you give me, a point of reference and I will take the sales in that direction. And remember, Mr. Tucker, you can always get a hold of me at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. And I would love it, Mr. Tucker, if you went to xratted.blogspot.com. Okie doke? Okay. Anyway, so, it's 15 minutes and 33 seconds. So, at 16 minutes and 16 seconds, I'll sign off, and I'll come back between 2 and 2:30, give or take. Okay? Tell some people, give some thumbs up. Let's, yes, we have a good cadre of 220 folk, give or take. But we need a few more thumbs up. We need a few more. We have to build this foundation of this. We're not leaving this platform, even though we're building a new one of the Flower Child supercomputer. Here it comes, 16, 14, 15, 16. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Start promoting.